MVP candidates as we head into week 11. And we got ourselves a shakeup here. I'm going to start before I even get to the graphic with my honorable mention. Drake Maye is the honorable mention at number 4 right now. He did absolutely nothing wrong to fall out of the top 3. It's what everybody else did. He's been fantastic this season. The Patriots have the weakest schedule I've ever seen by a good team in my life. So they're about to get the number 1 seed because I don't think they're going to lose a game the rest of the way. Or if they do, they'll lose 1 to Buffalo. It is lined up perfectly for Drake Maye to be awesome. A big win over a winning team in the Buccaneers. So I can't even hold about 58%, 55% completion, I believe it was, 272 touchdowns, a pick. Not a great game, not a really, but it was a fine game. Shouldn't have dropped him. But the reason he's going down is because of the addition of a first time to the list, JAXON, SMITH-NJIGBA. On pace for Calvin Johnson level numbers. I know it was a quiet game against the Cardinals, 5 catches for 93 yards and a touchdown. Oh no, his first game since September 25th under 100 yards. Still on that count. He did all of that in the first quarter too. After it was 35-7 at halftime. The Sam Darnold, I don't think threw a pass in the second half. And JSN's still on that Calvin Johnson pace. He's been electric. The only reason Sam Darnold's not on this list, honestly, in that spot is JSN's been that ridiculous. The offense has run through him clearly. And I did not love those 2 lost fumbles from Darnold. That in a very close race like that, JSN's going to get the nod. He's going to be at number 3 right now. He's been sensational and continues to be. You're going to notice a trend here, and you know what it is? It doesn't have to be a dang quarterback every single time. Jonathan Taylor, number 2. Another hat trick, his 4th one of the season, 200 yards. He put Daniel Jones on his back with Daniel Jones and his lipstick, blood, and everything, and carried that team to a win over the Falcons when they had nothing going for them. Jones made a few clutch plays down the stretch, and by that I mean Tyler Warren saved them. But this was a Jonathan Taylor masterclass from pillar to post. They ought to bye week. Moving forward, if they're going to go anywhere, it's going to be on the back of number 28. We talked about this last time he's having a sensational season in 2021. It was him and Cooper Kupp. They should have been more consideration, and out of that, there was 1 MVP vote for Cooper Kupp. This feels like it's going to be the offensive player of the year race between these two, which is unfortunate because they should both truly be in the MVP race. I know we're the weird ones that think that non-quarterbacks can make a case, but what these two have done so far, absolutely sensational. JT, the only reason the Colts are currently the number 1 seed in the AFC right now, because it is not Daniel Jones lighting it up. And to answer your question of last week, no, Daniel Jones is not an honorable mention this week either. He has unfortunately played himself out of it for now because there's so many competitive guys in there. All that to be said, we still have a quarterback at the top of the list in Matthew Stafford. If the season ended today, he would have I believe this would be the 7th most touchdowns he's thrown in a season already. He's at 25 touchdowns with 2 picks. He has not thrown an interception since mid-September. He's been on an absolute tear. 3 consecutive games where he's thrown 4 more touchdowns. They're 7-2, tie at the top of the NFC. When we go eye test, I don't think there is a better team in the league right now than the Rams. One just from eye test alone, they're tied at the top of a whole lot of teams. He's been sensational. Puka's out for a game. What does he do? He throws 5 touchdowns. Devontae Adams gets banged up. Oh, just throws a touchdown to the tight ends. Kyron Williams has been fine. He hasn't been Jonathan Taylor, Bijan Robinson yet. Stafford's been sensational. The best football he's played his entire career. At this pace, he's well on his way to being MVP, all-pro. Getting a lot closer to that ticket to Canton. He's definitely making a case for it. I think this MVP will go a long way towards that. Right now, he's playing as good as anybody. The only quarterback that should be above JSN and JT at this point. Every other quarterback should be behind them. This is MVP, not MVQB. But Stafford right now will still get the nod.
I respect it. By the way, Jonathan Taylor got me 49 points in fantasy in my work league. So, yeah, I was cool with that. That was amazing.
He also got 57 in our other league where they give bonuses for those big runs. So, the highest scoring game of the season by anybody.
Yeah. So, no, easily the well-deserving of continuing to be on this list. JSN, I love the fact that we talked about this ad nauseum last week as well. I think JSN is a well-deserving MVP candidate. And Stafford, I think, is playing excellent right now. Until further notice, should be an MVP candidate. I know we assigned 1, 2, and 3, but honestly, I feel like all of these are like 1A, 1B, 1C, and it's just a matter of can you give it to a non-quarterback, and can the position player break a record within their category? I think that's going to be the determining factor of if a non-quarterback gets the MVP this year. Is if like JT or JSN gets a record within their position. I think that's going to be the determining factor. But I like this list so far.
I feel like if JT's going to get it, he has to. If he doesn't break LT's record, he's got to get into second place ahead of Sean Alexander, basically. So if he has to get 29, 30 touchdowns, and the Colts have to be the number 1 seed. It's the only way I think he's going to get it, because that means he drug Daniel Jones to the 1 seed. Maybe the 2 seed. We'll see how the rest of the season plays out. JSN, kind of a similar thing. He has to be in that Calvin Johnson, Cooper Kupp range. They got to be the 1 seed. And he has to continue to account for such a huge percentage of their passing offense. And I think Stafford will have to fall off. I mean, 25-2 ratio. At this pace, he's looking at, if I'm trying to do rough math, his most touchdowns of his career would probably be, his most is 41. He's done twice. So he, at this pace, we'll say like 43-5, which is just absolutely insane. And he'll be close to 5,000 yards. I believe he's 4th in the league in passing yards now. So I think Stafford would have to fall off for sure, or the Rams as a whole would have to fall off. And I think those two, like you said, unfortunately, the nature of the business is they have to be in record air. But Stafford himself is in record air as well right now. He's looking a lot like 2020 Aaron Rodgers. Not the one that he should have won, not the following year when it should have gone to JT or Cooper Kupp or Tom Brady, but the one that he won emphatically. Stafford's well on his way to that. He's playing at an all-time level right now. We'll see if it can continue. And I will never listen to a preseason report about his back ever again. As far as I'm concerned, he is 100% at all times. I don't care if he might have to retire due to a spine issue. I'm going to call BS, because clearly he's as good as he's ever looked.
Matt Stafford, the only quarterback that plays better with back injuries in his career.
They broke his back, spinal, and he got better. I don't get it, but he's been absolutely sensational. He's at the top of the list right now. Let us know down below who you all have as your current NFL MVP. And if you think this could be the year a non-quarterback wins it, this would be our luck, right? There's like 2 to 3 guys that aren't quarterbacks that could win it. And the quarterback, there isn't like a bunch of quarterbacks that you can make above, but there is one. That'll be the one that gets it. This will actually be the final list of like, well, see, we did vote for non-quarterbacks, but they did it just because they knew it was going to be Stafford.